Hello everybody and welcome to Tales of the Betting Ring, a podcast dedicated to all the topics based around on-course bookmaking. My name is Hannah Baycroft. I am your host for this podcast and I'm going to be joined by three guests here with me at Epsom Racecourse for Derby Day. A very exciting day. There's a highlight in the racing calendar. Now this is a pilot episode, I'm very excited to say. And to kick it off, I am joined by my first guest, which is Steve Gower, aka Chip Shop Steve. Hi Steve, thanks for joining me. Where does Chip Shop Steve come from?
Well, because I used to have a chip shop in Maidstone, and although I've only had it for 5 years, people still tar me with that brush. So I've not had it for 10 years, but it was the best fish and chip shop in the whole of the country. So maybe that's why it was legendary. Yeah,
Can't go wrong. Now, Steve, about 50 years, would you say, in the industry?
yeah. I used to when I was 14. I used to work out the back, settling bets in my uncle's betting shop. Wasn't even allowed in there, but they used to put me out the back, and I used to settle all the singles. So that was exactly 50 years ago, which coincides really with my favourite winner of the Derby, which was probably around about the same year.
Okay.
Either 1 year before, 1 year after, which was Nijinsky,
Wow.
ridden by the legendary Lester Piggott. There was something about that racehorse. Every time it ran, there was great expectations for it. It won the Guineas, and then it won obviously Epsom Derby here, and then it went up and won the St Leger. So it was a Triple Crown winner, and the last one to do so. And there's not been one Triple Crown winner for over 50 years now. We still wait, and they said it won't be one this year.
The Epsom Derby, I mean, it's a truly historic race.
It
Sponsored
is.
this year by Betfred.
Yeah.
Have you got any more memories from the Epsom Derby?
Well,
I'm sure you've seen plenty.
Well, I've seen loads. A friend of mine, he paid £10,000 for a racehorse and entered it into the Derby, and it ran at 500 to 1, and it was tailed off. So, yeah, that was a great day. And he was running around Maidstone, where I live, tipping up his Derby entry. It came nowhere.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Well, I said to you a story earlier that my mum, she bred her horse, and she always said to me, "Oh yeah, well, I bred my mare with a Derby runner." I
Yeah.
said, "Where'd it come?" She said, "Oh, at last, I think." But still, it's a good thing to say,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think today's Derby, I think we may see something special here. It's the most competitive Derby I can ever remember. I won't put off anyone back in the first 10 in the betting, and whoever wins today could actually end up as being a superstar, because they're all very, very, very good horses, and today could be something special.
I mean, especially with Aidan O'Brien's horses, he
Exactly.
finally tunes them, doesn't he, for the
Yeah,
Derby?
he does. Yeah, I think out of the front three, that would be my least tip. I don't really fancy Frankie Tittori today. I don't know why. I know he had a great day yesterday, but I think people having a bet today, you're looking at third, fourth, fifth in the betting. They won't go far wrong.
You don't think anybody will go with that Frankie Story double?
No, I don't.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it? Coming
Well, it
to
is,
the end
but
of his fairy tale story. And
Well, he's had his fairy tale now, I think. So you don't get two fairy tales in a lifetime.
so you're not behind him then?
No,
today?
not at all. No, out the front ones in the market, that would be the one I would take on.
Here with me now is Steve Brewer, head of ONCOURSE at Star Sports. I will just say that the music has just started here at Epsom Racecourse. We haven't got a DJ with us, sadly. Steve, thanks for joining me. Now, you've been in the game a long time, haven't you?
Yes, I have, yeah. I first worked for William Hills when I left school at around 19. And I also then had a share in some greyhounds back in the day at Ramsgate and Canterbury.
Now, during your time in the business, you had a break in between, didn't you? Because you are a qualified accountant.
Yes, I've got my own business, qualified accountant, and still do a lot of work in that field, tax returns and limited company accounts for local people.
Since your first stint in the business and then coming back into it now, would you say there is a big difference and a big change in on-course bookmaking?
Absolutely. I mean, there's far less cash on course than there was back in those days. Far smaller numbers of bets as well.
And as you're an accountant and a money man, I think it's an important question to ask. Do you think that we will end up in a cashless society?
No, I don't think we will. I think there will be enough resistance to that. I think there's still quite a lot of tradespeople, quite a lot of retail that still want to use cash, despite the bank's desire to move us to a cashless society.
And lastly, let's finish with your most memorable Derby run.
Well, my first memory of the Derby was when Shergar won. I think I was around 9 or 10 years old. And then obviously he was kidnapped and lost. So that's my first memory, a great shame. And then the second one was when Sherastani beat Dancing Brave, and obviously Dancing Brave was incredibly unlucky. And then from there, I think I first attended the Derby when Criskin won.
And you're excited for the day ahead. Yesterday we got a bit sunburned, didn't we? So you prepped with the sun cream.
Yes, it was a nice warm day yesterday after a cold start. A very busy day for us, good business, successful day, and very excited for today. A very competitive Derby. My pick would be Military Order.
In the hot seat with me now, we have Kyle Drummond, professional punter and on-course bookmaker. Kyle, how long are we saying that you've been in the industry?
Oh, God, Hannah, I think it'll be about 17 years now going on.
So you've definitely, I know, got some strong opinions about on-course bookmaking and changes that have happened over the years. My first question to you is, if you could change anything in the betting ring, what would it be?
I think what I would like to see more of in the betting ring is bookmakers working together more, because there very much seems to be over the years a lot of bookmakers can be at each other's throats as opposed to working constructively to really drive the change that it needs, especially now more than ever, I would say.
What does the future of on-course bookmaking look like to you?
I would say the future of on-course bookmaking is an interesting question, and I've been thinking about this all morning since you asked me about it. And I would say that I would liken on-course bookmakers to, I would say, shopping for vinyl records. You say vinyl records with the earliest inception of the recording of music, much the same as bookmakers are the earliest form of betting. So I would say that there's something that you can't really put a price on with that human interaction, that social element, the bartering, the banter that you have with on-course bookmakers. You can't get that anywhere else. It's the same way, you've got a vinyl record, it's the same as holding it, it's the aesthetics of it, the way it sounds. It's the same with the betting ring, it's the sound, it's the noise. Now, the future of that, bookmakers, I mean, if you'd said to me 5-6 years ago that taking card bets on course would be a thing, I probably would have laughed, because the way it was going, it was laughed at. Oh, no, we don't want that, it will slow us down. But technology advances quickly, and I think that's the most important thing for bookmakers. It's being able to keep up with technology and finding new ways to be able to take bets probably quicker, as much as you can. And maybe even looking at things like on-course bookmakers, you look at apps, things like that, incentives. You've got to find a way of getting people to go back into the ring and enjoy the day. It has to be a part of the race day experience for all race goers coming here. It's not just about the drinking and the partying, it's about having a bet with an on-course bookmaker, because they are part of the experience of a race day. And I think a lot of the time race courses overlook on-course bookmakers massively.
Just going back to the atmosphere that you were mentioning on course, there is nothing like it. I mean, just by me people watching, the camaraderie on course is fantastic. People that have worked together for a long time, working with different firms, it really is a team effort. And the atmosphere is amazing, seeing the punters, working with the bookmakers, and having that bit of banter as well, backwards and forwards, about winning and losing. And it's something that I think needs to be looked after more.
You can't get that on a Sky Bet account.
Exactly.
You can't get it.
No.
So I think there needs to be more focus on that, and I think that bookmakers need to work constructively together to really, really drive the products of on-course betting, because it's a fantastic part of the sport. On-course bookmaking goes back, it's one of the most ancient forms of betting. William Hill, Coral, Ladbrokes, these companies started in the betting ring, and you should never forget that. And it should really, really be the focus now for all bookmakers, is really putting the focus onto the betting ring, what the betting ring is, showing people what it is, bringing it to life. I think that's so important, and I'd really like to see racecourses work a lot more with bookmakers instead of, I would say sometimes endlessly promoting the tote. is promote the On-Course Bookmakers. You know, we pay a marketing fee every year. You know, market the product, market the bookmakers. That's what everyone would like to see more of.
Well, that brings us to the end of our podcast. Like I mentioned before, this is a pilot episode, so we want to know what you thought of it, if there are any topics that you'd like to see covered in the future. But more importantly, please pop any questions in the comments below and we can get to those next time. Now, whether you're on course with us at Epsom Racecourse or you're watching the day from the comfort of your own home on the TV, have a wonderful day. Best of luck on all your selections and we'll see you all soon. Take care.